In this video, we're going to talk about diluting stock solutions, and that's where we take a solution off the shelf of a certain strength and combine it with water. A stock solution is a concentrated solution from which a diluted solution or less concentrated solution can be made. A stock solution is diluted with a solvent, and it's usually water, but it doesn't have to be. To solve a dilution problem, two questions will need to be answered. What volume of the stock solution must be diluted to make the ordered solution? What volume of the solvent, and in this case water, must be added to perform the dilution? Here is our dilution formula. Here we have C1V1 equals C2V2, where C1 is the concentration of available stock, and that will be a percent. V1 is the volume of available stock, and that could be milliliters or liters. C2 is the concentration of the ordered solution, and V2 is the volume of the ordered solution. So let's take a look at an example using this formula. 1,000 milliliters of 2% solution is needed. A 40% stock solution is available. How much stock solution is needed and how much solvent must be added to prepare the 2% solution? So we're going to use that dilution formula, C1V1 equals C2V2. Let's see which of these values we have. What we are looking for is the 1,000 milliliters of 2% solution. So that's concentration 2, that's what I've ordered, is 2%. Volume 2 is 1,000 milliliters. My stock solution has a concentration of 40%, so that's going to be C1 equals 40%. My volume of that stock solution is what I'm looking for. Let's go ahead and substitute. Now we see we have a percent, so the first thing we need to do is convert those percents to decimals. So I have 0.02 for 2% and 0.4 for 40%. Now I'm ready to substitute. So I have 0.4 V1 equals 0.02 times 1,000. So I have 0.4 V1 equals 20. I'm going to divide both sides by 0.4, and that cancels. I get V1 equal 50. That's 50 milliliters of stock solution. I'm also asked to find how much solvent. My final volume is 1,000 milliliters. Within that 1,000 milliliters, 50 milliliters of it is stock solution. My volume of solvent equals 1,000 minus 50, or 950 milliliters of solvent. That is how you complete a dilution problem. Let's talk about mixing solutions. Instead of using a solvent like water to dilute a solution, now we're going to talk about mixing two solutions of different concentrations. We have a formula for that, and it is a little bit different than the previous formula. Here is our formula for mixing two solutions to create a third. V1C1 plus V2C2 equals my volume final times concentration final. So V1 is the volume of the first stock solution. C1 is the concentration of the first stock solution. V2 is the volume of the second stock solution. C2 is the concentration of the second stock solution. And V sub F is the volume of the final solution. And C sub F is the concentration of the final solution. So let's put this formula to work in this example. How many milliliters of 20% alcohol and 50% alcohol should be combined together to obtain 300 milliliters of 40% alcohol? So here's what we have. V1, C1 plus V2, C2 equals V sub F, C sub F. We have a concentration of 20% alcohol. So that's my first stock solution. So I have C sub 1 equals 20%. And I have another stock solution whose concentration is 50%. So C sub 2 equals 50%. And we find our final solution, the volume, is 300 milliliters. And the final concentration, C sub F, is 40%. We know we have to change all those percents to decimals. Let's start there. So that becomes 0.2. The second concentration becomes 0.5. And the final concentration becomes 0.4. Now they don't give me V1 or V2, but they do give me the volume final. So what we could say is V1 equals 300 minus V2, because the two of them add up together to be 300 milliliters. I'm going to use this for V sub 1. So I have 300 minus V2 times my concentration for the first stock solution would be 0.2 plus V sub 2 times that concentration, 0.5, equals the final concentration, 0.4 times 300. I'm going to multiply this 0.2 through the parentheses. So I have 0.2 times 300 minus 0.2 times V sub 2, and I'm going to change the order here, plus 0.5 V sub 2. And I'm going to go ahead and multiply these two, and I get 120. So when I multiply here, I get 60. Here I have like terms, so I can combine those. A minus 0.2 and a plus 0.5 leaves me with plus 0.3 V2, and that equals 120. So now I need to get the term containing V2 by itself, so I'm going to subtract 60 from both sides, and I get 0.3 V sub 2 equals 60. Now I'm going to divide both sides by 0.3. So I end up with V sub 2 equals 200. So V sub 2 is the second stock solution, so that's 200 milliliters of 50% alcohol. Now, how do I find how much of the other stock solution is used? I'm going to take V1 equals 300 minus V2, so that's 300 minus 200, and we get V sub 1 equals 100 milliliters of 20% alcohol. And that is how you mix solutions. I hope this has helped. Thank you.